This is Power, the potential of women entrepreneurs realized. This program will introduce you to a variety of women entrepreneurs from around the region that have harnessed this power to succeed and flourish. I'm Jessica Nall. Thank you for joining us as we profile these hardworking women. We begin in Mechanicsville at Aerial East Gymnastics with owner Tiffany Kirkham, describing how she started this thriving business.
I loved gymnastics as a kid, and then I met my husband through the sport several years later, and we just did a lot of research and realized that there wasn't the opportunity for gymnastics in Mechanicsville, and wanted to bring that opportunity to the community that we grew up in and provide a safe and happy environment for kids to train.
Turning a passion into a business can be kind of a twist, no pun intended. It's not necessarily easy.
Yeah, a hobby became a job, but it doesn't really feel like work when you love what you do. So we've grown from 7 kids when we started to probably right now about 750. So the growth has been phenomenal over the last 10 years. So it's been a great experience.
Having a business requires a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work. What has been one of the biggest challenges you've faced with growing this business?
So in addition to running the gym, I also work as a full-time PA in an ER. So that challenge, working there full-time and then running the business, does present a lot of time, but the great thing about this business, it is a family-owned business, and my family can be here with me. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff of running a business that you don't realize, and it's been great to have the support of family and things like Power to help facilitate the business side of things. We knew the gymnastics side when we started, but the business side, payroll, bookkeeping, taxes, all that kind of good stuff, definitely presented a challenge, but it's been good.
And networking with other women-owned businesses is key too. You learn a lot.
Absolutely, yep. We've had a couple Power meetups where we've gotten to meet with other businesses and ask questions to other women, and that information has helped a lot as well.
What words of wisdom do you share now when you are out and you are networking and people say, how do you balance it all?
I sometimes forget to slow down and relish in the small successes and the small happinesses because I'm so busy trying to organize everything, and sometimes I need to remind myself just to stop back, take a deep breath.
You're balancing a career, a family, owning another business. How do you do that all? What's the key to balance?
To be honest with you, it's love and support of my family. I couldn't do it all without them and the people that I surround myself with. It's the community as a whole that really supports me, that allows me to do it all.
Family is a common theme with many of our profiles. Where Aerial East Gymnastics started with a couple's shared love of the sport, Barnes of Canak started with love and marriage.
We both loved planning my wedding and just found it to be a really natural thing for us. So when my parents did decide to take this leap of faith and take ownership of the Barnes of Canak, I just knew I had to be a part of it with them, and I'd want to help in any way that I could. So I ended up leaving my job in finance to come work for them full time, and it's just been a blast. We've learned a lot together, and we've learned how to balance family and business.
A leap of faith, leaving a full-time job and working with family. Not necessarily the 3 ingredients that you always see in the secret of success, but for you guys it's ringing true. You're really seeing it happen here, and this is probably far more than you ever imagined.
Some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm still in awe that we own this beautiful property, that people are coming, they want to get married here. It's working out, and we're very thankful.
I think any business owner wants to carry their confidence into what they do, so it's sometimes hard to admit when you don't have all the answers and you're still learning. And I think at this point we've come to peace with that, because every weekend we do a wedding, we learn something new. And not only learning something from the work that you do, but also learning from businesses around you and being able to discuss like what you're going through with other businesses, whether they're in the same industry or not. So that's definitely been a hurdle, but also an exciting part that kind of keeps you coming back to work every day.
Continuing with the family theme, our next profile is Reston, Virginia-based design firm, the Marshall Group. So your father had his career, then starts second career, the firm opens, you're in the firm.
Yes.
Your husband was in the firm.
Yes.
And now that path has evolved again, and now you're at the helm.
In 2018, I lost my father and my mother, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy transition, but I've been involved with the firm since 1986 when I graduated from college. So it was really just kind of a formal handing of the baton.
Being a woman-owned business, it's a new role for you. So you're taking this on for size, and I think a lot of folks are saying, well, how do you do it all? How do you have this career and own this business and?
Right. And fortunately for me, I think it might get a little bit easier because all my kids are grown, so I don't have to balance that anymore. But I did over the years, raising kids. I've always worked. I've always been in this profession. And I think that now I'm realizing more, and maybe because my time is now my time, is that the importance of getting out there and networking and just the power of woman to woman, what I can bring to another woman's business or what that other woman can bring to my business, and just the need really to utilize each other's networks.
In just a moment, we'll take you to a very unique co-working space. We'll explore an art gallery and then sip a cider and talk to the women of power that run each of them. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Power, the potential of women entrepreneurs realized. Our next profile takes us to Herndon, Virginia. Rowan Tree is a collaborative workspace that connects smart, innovative, and like-minded women.
It's an open community. It's not as much about co-working as it's about being part of a community of other like-minded people. So when you come here, we have this open hub where you can sit and you can pop open your laptop and work, but you can also connect and share ideas with other people who are in a like-minded mindset, or they're also starting their business. But you can also enjoy the amenities like meeting rooms and screens and unlimited coffee and tea. But on top of that, while we're trying to provide a community where people can build their businesses, we also felt it was important for them to build themselves as well.
I find it really interesting that you now are in the business of helping business, right? And so did you intend to start that way? Was that really what was driving it?
No, not initially. We just wanted to bring women together. That is where the initial goal came from. And we thought, well, it could be women who own a business, it could be remote workers, it could be moms with a side business. We just really wanted to make a hub for women, but very quickly we realized there was a need for these women entrepreneurs, because they're often working from home or from a Starbucks by themselves, navigating this uncharted territory. And really, there's a lot of hiccups and roadblocks and turns to take. And so we found it doesn't matter what industry, but the women are really connecting here because they say, well, how did you do this when you ran into this problem? Or how did you file your tax, XYZ paperwork? And so they're connecting at a basic level of, let's make these business decisions and grow together and figure it out together, so we're not isolated.
It's a woman-owned business, you're entrepreneurs, you're going in this direction, obviously building then that co-working, co-growth space for women, right? So it's this beautiful infinity going circle just that keeps on rolling out. But you needed support, and along the way you became aligned with SonaBank and the SonaBankPower program.
So we had heard about SonaBank well before we had any bank account, and we were really interested in them because they're women focused, they have the Power program. We went to this networking event in Fairfax, and they were there, and there were Tia and Josie with wonderful information sitting right next to me, telling me about the Power program and how there's this tremendous network of women-owned businesses. They promote each other, you can share events. They're already connecting us to other people in the Power network. They've been tremendously helpful and supportive, and you can email them every day. And the women who are connected in the Power program are all phenomenal as well. So we're really eager to connect with them more.
Yeah. And looking at partnerships for the future in terms of events and things like that we can do together, because we're so aligned together in our mission of supporting and empowering women.
We travel next to Middleburg, Virginia to visit the Byrne Gallery, featuring art, sculpture, and jewelry. This business came from a passion for art from owners Susan Byrne and her brother, Bill. Susan, how did you know that a gallery was the dream that you wanted to pursue? You and your brother are co-proprietors, you own this together. How did you know that this was where you wanted to pursue your passion?
Well, it started out gradually. We both came from other professions. Our mother was an artist and an art educator, and so we were always part of the process growing up, and we're very familiar with art. I came to a point, I think, of self-graduation in my own life where I was ready to have my own business and have something with a little self-definition. So that's kind of how that happened, and it was very gradual.
What's been one of the biggest challenges in starting Byrne Gallery and seeing it grow and expand? You said you started slowly, but it's grown.
At the beginning, you have to find out where your strengths lie. I think that we're very familiar, with Middleburg and the community and what people liked.
And you've come into the fold of the SonaBankPower program and talked about how that networking and relationship building and mentorship can be a game changer for folks new to the entrepreneurial journey and or folks already on that path and still learning from each other.
I was talking with some of the folks at Sona about the fact that, people sometimes think, entrepreneurs are just like one kind of people. They just have that entrepreneurial bug. I don't really think that's true. I think that many, many different types of people can become entrepreneurs.
And many people who do go on to become entrepreneurs are somewhat surprised to find themselves in that role, like Blue Bee Cider founder and owner Courtney Maley. So Courtney, this really was an adventure that you pursued but maybe never saw coming.
Absolutely. My original idea for the cidery was me alone in a cellar by myself, listening to my music, doing my thing, and selling cider at farmers markets on the weekend. I had no intention of growing the business to the point where I would need employees, let alone a place to sell cider independently 7 days a week.
Yeah. You planted that flag and then it continued to grow. Mm-hmm. Did you have challenges along the way? Is that an understatement?
Yeah, every day is an adventure. Mother Nature brings us adventures. Last year, Mother Nature brought us 50% of our Saturdays rainy, so in retail that's really tough, but we kind of figured a way out of it.
You build a network as you go. How important is it to have a network in place as you grow the business?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't have a network. I kind of had to build that. So this was the first urban cidery in the South, really on the East Coast that I knew of. No one had paved this path before, so I had to put all of the supply chain together from scratch and build those relationships. And other people have been able to walk on that path that Blue Bee built, but I guess you can start from scratch if you have to.
It's true. You start from scratch and you build it, and then great things come, and it continues to be on the grow, doesn't it?
It does. So cider is continuing to be a growing category, and there's macro cider and there's craft cider, which is what we do. So we're sort of like a speck on a leaf of the tree of craft beverage, but that little speck is the part that's growing the fastest.
I just find it so inspirational, the power of having a dream and taking it in your own direction.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll talk to 3 more women business owners. Each started on one path, but found themselves inspired to take another. Welcome back to Power, the potential of women entrepreneurs realized. Dr. Deborah Chinnery and her husband, Dr. Lynn Chinnery, have a passion for helping people, which was the spark for them to form their own practice. Tell me what it is about being your own business owner that appeals so much to you and to your husband.
It allows me to be who I am. We're nurturers. I am a nurse. I came as a nurse practitioner. I'm a nurse. I went back and got my master's and got my doctorate, and like everything that I had learned to put everything in place. And it was not really about me, but it was about the spiritual me of wanting to put up a place that represent the nurturing of a nurse, of a woman, the final touches, and my husband was all open, to allow, to accept, embrace the vision of Divine Healthcare. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. I love this place. I absolutely love my patients. I love what it stands for, and it's all about us. And I feel like we've been anointed in this field, and I think that nobody does it like us.
Fairfax, Virginia attorney and author Nancy Green started off in a more traditional legal path, but experiences along the way showed her a new focus. And Nancy, you discovered this passion, you became a lawyer, you're on this track, and then you further niche, right? You further get into an even deeper love and concern in law. And talk us through that.
I started realizing that a lot of my clients had the same problems, and most of it came to the line of protecting their business, right? And my women clients and women business owners would get into business with their husband's best friend from church or 20 years ago. Because there was a level of trust, even if it hadn't been earned, right? They wouldn't take the steps they needed to protect their business. And they were running afoul of trouble. They were running into what we call corporate divorces, so the business partners were fighting, and the only way to stop it was to separate them. And most of the time when you do that, the company dies. So I got really passionate about 6-7 years ago now in helping women business owners sort of understand the rules and play a higher game to make sure that they were taking the steps to take a breath and protect what they were building. So that's really sort of been my focus for the last 7 years or so.
Entrepreneur Isha Katahora opened a tropical smoothie location in Clinton, Maryland just this year, which was a major transition from her previous career.
For me, it was always, I need to find something that really gets me and motivates me. Until now, I didn't find that until we started this process. And about a year ago, I told my husband, you know what? I don't want you quitting your job. I want to take ownership of this, and I'm going to run this for myself. And it's been very challenging. It's been extremely challenging because it's a completely different domain from what I'm used to. I'm used to corporate world. I'm used to working with, I come from healthcare IT, so I'm a completely different world. And now here I'm working with employees who are 18, 19 years old. I'm working with vendors who I've never worked with before. Just the ABC of running a business is completely different from what my experience was. So what I've learned a lot. I mean, I've learned that you have to be patient. You can't react. And I think that's something the last 6 months, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've reacted, but I've also learned that, you know what, I need to slow down. I need to slow down my process. I need to slow down my reactions and really consider what I need to do.
When we come back, we relax at Infinity Spa for a soothing look at one entrepreneur's new endeavor. We focus in on a visionary business, and we'll show you how to realize your potential through power. Welcome back to Power, the potential of women entrepreneurs realized. We visited Reston, Virginia-based Infinity Spa, a beautiful new business designed from the ground up by owner Katie Wynn. A lot of folks look at what you've achieved. You're a woman, you're an entrepreneur, it's a woman-owned business. Not any of those things are necessarily easy to come by. What are your words of wisdom that you share? Because I'm sure a lot of people ask you, you've been on this journey for a long time. How do you do it?
Never give up and surround yourself with, positive people, not, help you through your journey, not give you negative. Don't take negative. When people say, oh, you can't do it. Yes, you can. Every day you have to tell yourself, yes, you can, right?
When you went to the open house with SonaBank, I understand you walked right up and said, well, I need a loan. This is what I need. You're very determined, you're very driven. You found that support, you found that partnership, and what did you find that maybe was unanticipated?
I found like all the women, everybody is very helpful and keep calling, check on me and make sure like everything okay. So I really have all the support that I need. Mentally support, that's important, and also, you know, other support beside that too.
This program, the Power program, the potential of women entrepreneurs realize the network. How important is that for where you're going, what you've achieved and where you're going?
The support, like everybody support, like guide me through it and you know, tell me, give me advice, very good advice. You know, where I should do, you know, just to help me through the way. And then share their success story. It's just like learn from each other a lot.
Finally, we visited optician Donna Mayland in Hampton, Virginia. She bought Eye to Eye Optical in 1995 and manages all aspects of the business. She's been a business owner for nearly 25 years and loves both helping and learning from the Power program. You were here in a much different capacity many years ago, and now you're leading the charge. The responsibilities certainly are very different.
It is. When I worked for the business, it feels completely different. You're going to work, you're making your paycheck, you're going home. But when you own a business, you really have to put 100% of yourself into it. You have to make sure that all the bills are paid. You have to make sure your employees are taken care of, that your inventory is ordered and in on time, and that the product is perfect before you deliver it to the customer. So yes, you take it personal and you make sure that everything is just right.
Taking that plunge is a big responsibility. There are so many unknowns. How do you find the support that you need going along?
It comes from the community as a whole. It comes from our bank. It comes from my accountant. It comes from the employees that work with us. Everybody has to chip in, and it definitely has been exhausting in a lot of ways, but it's also been a challenge, but it's been fun. You just got to know what you want and work toward that goal.
Donna, you mentioned depending on the community, depending on your team, depending on a network of other like-minded women entrepreneurs and women business owners.
When we needed a loan to help grow our business to buy equipment, Sona has been there for us, and just a great asset to have on our side.
And above and beyond with a program like Power.
The Power women are wonderful. These women are so encouraging. We share ideas and products about productivity and inventory and other things that's helped them in their business has also helped us. We share ideas that helps grow all of our businesses. But when women band together and we build each other up, pull the next person up from behind you, that helps you as a whole and helps you grow.
These Power players reveal that there are many paths to success. What's key is learning from and supporting each other through a powerful network. Learn more about the SonaBankPower program at SonaBankPower.com. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Nall.